Landry freaking Shamet. I don't think I've ever opened up a live show or even a video with that intro about Landry Shamet. Holy cow, Phoenix Suns fans. So, you guys, before we talk about this wild game, and I'm sure we're going to be here for a while, I got to get a couple things out of the way first. First off, I don't know if you guys can tell through the mic, I am a little sick. I'm coming down with some kind of a cold, and my nose is all stuffed. But I had to go live, especially for this incredible game, and I needed some reinforcements tonight because there's obviously a lot to talk about. So I am live with one of my good friends, good YouTube friend who is on the way making his YouTube comeback. I'm here with Reliable Rants. Reliable, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. You make it sound like like Rocky 5 or something. Making the comeback.
Making the comeback, man.
Ready to pick up what you the cold's holding you back from.
Yeah, man. And I was telling Reliable before I went live, I'll make sure to go on mute every time I blow my nose, but occasionally I might have to do that. So, Reliable Rants, holy cow, man. Where do we even begin with this game? And yeah, we're going to talk about the Nikola Jokic and Matt Ishbia stuff. Yes, we're going to talk about Deandre Ayton. But you know what? I'll start us off, man. We just have to start this live show talking about the arguably, not even arguably, the best player in the playoffs so far, Devin freaking Booker.
Devin Booker.
I thought you were going to say Landry Shamet.
Landry Shamet. So before we kind of get your opening thoughts and takeaway, I mean, I'm not very good at math, but Devin Booker has scored like 80% shooting or whatever in the past couple of games.
They said 32 out of 40.
That's insane.
I don't think anyone's ever, maybe Wilt Chamberlain did that or something.
Like you see those, like Devin Booker's the first player since, and it's like Michael Jordan. It's like all these other great players. It is insane.
I've never seen any in my lifetime. I've never seen anything like this. Even like growing up watching like Kobe, like in terms of efficiency, in terms of, I was honestly at a loss for words just seeing his last couple of games. Like, I'll be honest, like he's hit a different level of greatness over these past couple of games.
It's funny, man, because it's like Kevin Durant said in that press conference. I was trying to find the words for Game 3. Like after the Game 3 performance, you cannot put it into words. You can analyze it all you want. You can go over the tape and the highlights, but what we're witnessing is just, as you mentioned, it's on another level.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely incredible. And it's funny because like I do these live shows and I make these videos and I'm baffled. I can't really add anything to the I can't even talk to the Devin Booker conversation, because he's just been that incredible. You see the numbers, you see what he's doing on the court. Even early in this game, he was getting double teamed, and it kind of seemed like he was sort of out of his groove, but then he just kept attacking, kept hitting those shots, was aggressive, and it was really that third quarter. And I looked up the ESPN kind of shot chart thing, or the play-by-play. I believe it took him a few minutes in the third quarter to get his first basket, again, in the third quarter. And that was when Ayton had that outlet pass to Josh Okogie, and Okogie fed Booker. I think that was his first points of the third. And then all of a sudden just exploded for like 17 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just baffled. Reliable Rants, I just had to just kind of talk about that immediately. So Reliable, just overall, your thoughts on this game, any big takeaways? Again, we're going to be talking about Ayton. We're going to be talking about Shamet and then Nikola Jokic and Matt Ishbia stuff. So yeah, I'll let you take the floor, man. What are your thoughts?
Just adding on to the Booker point real quick. In the fourth quarter, especially late, he was getting doubled at half court. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I think we need to talk about is this dude had 11 assists tonight. Ooh. So it's like what's crazy to me is he's doing all this scoring without forcing anything.
Right.
D-Book is like the best at rise. They have the Suns have the two best players at rising up in the entire NBA, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. And D-Book, he doesn't force it. These are jump shots that are contested for most people, but not for D-Book. Yeah. So he's diming players and they're capitalizing. This was the X factor tonight. I made a video about the Suns the other day, and about how besides your core four, everybody else added up for 6 points, 6 total points. And tonight, that was the exact opposite, and that was the X factor. That was the only reason you guys won this game, was guys like Shamit, guys like Ross, who put in 8, Shamit 19. It's about the depth. I've been speaking about this forever. So it's like, D-Book and Durant are going to come in and drop 39 apiece every single game. They're gonna combine for somewhere around 75 to 80 every single game. And you're going to get that no matter how they game plan. So it's about the pieces around you that make the difference, because that's what's actually fluctuating. So over the past, I think you saw that video. I said the Suns have one of the worst supporting casts in basketball. Okay, and I mean that. And I'm not going to sugarcoat because I'm on a Suns channel. Okay, I think you guys have a very inconsistent team, and you can't rely on many people to get the ball in the basket. But tonight, what you need in the playoffs is to see guys step up, like Landry Shamet. That was ridiculous. I mean, if you think about it, most of them were pretty open, but it's like they're tough shots to hit, and you got to commend them for that. 19, 12, 4 threes straight. And the fact that you guys had someone to rely on late in the fourth besides the 2 stars is really what set you guys apart from the Nuggets in this game. It's about the depth. And if you can get similar production from your depth or certain players, then you're going to have a good chance of winning this series. I'm still going to take the Denver Nuggets. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you.
The comment section's going to hate you.
I'm going to be honest with you. All right, I'm not going to sugarcoat. I'm still taking the Denver Nuggets to win this series based off of the depth. I'm going to stay with my point. But it was encouraging tonight to see what, even Terrence Ross, who had 8 and was doing stuff defensively, Landell played better than Ayton. To see that you guys have depth was amazing.
Jock Landell told me that he knew you were going to be on the show tonight. He's like, I got to step up. I got to play hard, because he heard all that shit talk you were talking that one time about him.
No, I just thought it was funny. Because that one time I never heard of him, so I was like, who the hell is Jock Landell?
No, but for real, just real quick on Jock Landell. He actually has been playing pretty well, especially in game 3. Really stepped up when we needed, and proved that he's a great locker room guy, especially coming to DeAndre Ayton's defense, which I have some thoughts on that, by the way. But anyways, but yeah, he was great tonight. But no, you're right, man. First off, you said something about how, it's the Phoenix Suns depth and guys scoring off of the bench. And then, DeAndre Ayton had 8 points, which we're definitely going to talk about Ayton in a minute here. Okogie had 4, Campaign had 5, right? But it came to a point, in my opinion, with this Nuggets series to where we needed to see, which Kevin Durant and Booker have done twice now, get those 80 points for us. You know what I mean? Because it didn't really seem like it for a while, because KD was obviously in a little bit of a shooting funk, if you will, especially with the defenses they're throwing at him. But it's just great to see that Booker and KD are putting together 80 points, and Kevin Durant's drawing so much attention, and Devin Booker's playing on a completely different level, that we can have guys like a Landry Shamet and a Terrence Ross step up when we need it. And I'm glad Terrence Ross is getting minutes, man. And shout out to TJ Warren as well, bro. TJ Warren, I thought, was really great in game 3. He had some good moments in this game, especially that late possession on Jokic, where I don't know if he blocked it, but caused Jokic kind of fumble it or whatever late in the game. Although I was kind of scared when I saw that Warren was on Jokic for that play. But yeah, it's just great, man.
Yeah, you guys would take a 2 there. They wanted to get a quick 2. You guys would take it. But honestly, when you guys traded for TJ Warren, I was really expecting a lot more from him. Yeah. Now, what he's doing based off of what he did maybe 2 games ago, it's okay. But TJ Warren was someone who was dropping 20 a game just a couple years ago. So it's I would expect going into this playoffs, I was like, TJ Warren's going to be X factor. And obviously he hasn't done much, but you guys cut Torrey Craig out the rotation tonight, if I'm not mistaken. If he wasn't injured. I
sort of talked about that after game 3. I don't know why. I don't know if it's been a defensive thing with him. He clearly hasn't been that player that we saw in the first 4 games of the Clippers series. I don't want to butcher this name next to Africa. Do you know how to pronounce that? Suns Geek, much love from
Ghana,
Africa. I'm a huge fan of the Suns and your channel. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. And that's a good little segue to remind you guys to Hulk smash that like button, everybody. Share the show. And again, the best way to support this channel, everybody, is just to keep watching. I'm live with my guest and friend of the channel, Reliable Rants. So Reliable, just real quick, we got to get this not really out of the way, but I kind of do want to start with this because this was a huge topic of conversation in the last 24 hours. We have to talk about DeAndre Ayton. And yes, he deserves a drop tonight.
The Phoenix Suns select DeAndre Ayton.
The truth is, statistically, he's not going to blow you away. The truth is, what he did tonight, he literally should be doing each and every single night. But what a way to respond, pretty much. Don't get me wrong. There were flaws. I felt like he was a lot better in the first half than he was in the second half.
What a way to respond is a stretch. What a way to respond is a stretch. Look, I think Ayton's energy was good. If I'm being honest with you, there wasn't much that Ayton did that I didn't think Jock Landale could do on that court. I like in the end, towards the end of the game, like his hustle was huge. Like diving for loose balls, getting that and one, missing the free throw. But like his energy was huge.
Yeah.
But Jock Landale looked like a starting center tonight. Am I wrong?
And throughout game 3 when he started for Ayton in that fourth quarter.
There's a reason him and Ayton played similar minutes. It's because Jock Landale is not going to come with any sort of outside of basketball attitude or thought. I mean, I understand why Ayton's mad. He's kind of getting cut out of the rotation in big minutes. Anyone would be mad. Yeah. But Landale is just someone who puts his head down and is just a big bully, not bully ball, but like he gets physical.
He's aggressive.
Exactly. And the main problem with Ayton, especially there was a couple times during this game as well, you pointed out in one of your other videos I was watching, he got the ball off a pick and roll, no one there. And then he just can't.
I was heated about that.
At the rim. He can't finish at the rim. There's a lack of physicality and aggressiveness and like willingness to put your body on the line in a way.
Yeah.
But I do like what I saw from him late in the game. He was motivated to show the Valley that, hey, like you guys can trust me a little bit. And while like I think he played better than last game, like Ayton hasn't played too well in the playoffs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that's why I think this is a backup, or my brain is not working tonight. That's why this was a bounce back game, sort of.
Yeah, now, it was a bounce back, but honestly, I'm expecting Landale and Ayton to be fluctuating the whole rest of the playoffs. And like Bismack didn't play at all today. Yeah. So
Gambino points out we need a Ayton double for next game. That's the thing with DeAndre Ayton, is it takes a really bad game for him to have a bounce back game, but then you always want more the following game. Does that make sense? Just real quick though, I want to give Ayton his flowers because I took down some notes. I was watching Ayton super closely. I kind of overlooked the fact that KD and Booker had 21 and 19 in the first half because my eyes were just glued on Ayton. I just want to go over a couple of things real quick. Obviously, because the NBA social media accounts tweeted it, 3 offensive rebounds, within the first minute of the game. It was just the physicality, him actually running and grabbing those freaking rebounds. He also had, and again, this is all basic stuff that normal centers should be doing, but I'm just pointing it out. He also had a really good contest on Michael Porter Jr. where he actually jumped and then Porter Jr. airballed the 3. He actually, I want to believe he either blocked or denied Jamal Murray. And then he had the rim rolling dunk. Then he had he had a few really good contests on Jamal Murray, I thought. A few of them led, after the great defensive play, it led to a Booker score.
I can tell you what's happening right now.
Hold on. He had the hand one at the 4:40 mark where he rim rolled. That was the bounce pass when Booker got it. And then he had that outlet pass to Josh Okogie, which led to the Devin Booker finish. I just wanted to point that out. I wanted to give him his flowers and credit where it's due because, again, this is just little things that he should be doing on a nightly basis that we didn't see in game 3. And I'm sure you saw all the videos, the Twitter feedback, the social media feedback. He got cooked. And I was part of it. It wasn't even just me trying to be a hater or, coming out with my pitchforks or whatever. I was just calling it how I see it. And I received a little bit of slander from Ayton stands in my recent videos because I've made 2 videos about how bad Ayton's been. And I hope that Ayton saw it. I hope that he continues to see the bad stuff and the good stuff. I hope tonight he heard the cheers from the fans. I hope that he sees all the good tweets about him, and I hope that he performs better. But again, what sucks for Ayton is he needs to have another great game and then another great game. You know what I mean? That's my Ayton rant. I just had to get that out of the way fast.
Okay, what's happening here is the standard for Ayton has dropped so low. Like, it's crazy. Like, you guys used to get mad when he would. What does this comment even mean?
I don't know.
Like,
Logan's my homie, man. Be cool to my guy, Logan.
Oh, I thought Starbucks is always on my ass. I thought he was trying to make another. I thought he was trying to make another like roast him. But this is the thing with Ayton, right? He used to put up what 16 and 10 a night, and that was a standard for him.
Yep.
And then you expected some energy on the floor.
Yep.
He's been playing so bad that now it's to the point where you feel the need to compliment and acknowledge each play that he does well, just to search for that validation of, oh, Ayton's still somewhat of the player we have, because the bar has gone down so much. So now it's to the point where it's like, oh, like Ayton is he's doing all these good things, and we're going to ignore what he's not doing because it's like not even worth talking about, because there's no standard. There's no expectation for him to get to that level again.
Look at this comment right here.
You know,
I hate to pick on Ayton after he had a really good bounce back game, but the sad thing, this is true.
For the situation, this is a great bounce back game.
Yeah.
For what we expect historically of DeAndre Ayton, this isn't a good game.
Yeah.
So it's like what he's done in the playoffs, this was a good game, but the bar for Ayton has dropped so low. And I just think it's important because, by the way, you look at LeBron memory. That was crazy. You lifted every single thing. That was funny.
I told you I was just taking notes on certain players and certain key sequences, and then just was boom. But and again, I had to, man, because that's what I do on this channel. I have to cover the good and the bad. But again, the unfortunate thing is that DeAndre Ayton just needs to follow this up, and he needs to be great throughout the rest of the series. Because you know how you were talking about, like, you know, Kevin Durant and Booker, they're going to get their 80 points, and the bench, you know, we don't have any depth, although tonight we did. Ayton truly is sort of the X factor.
Absolutely.
Because even though we won game 3, if he continues to play like complete garbage, I don't know how we win this series. So,
absolutely. And I said in my last video, like, typical playoff teams or championship contenders have 8 players that they can rely on. Yeah. And I said the Suns have 4, maybe 3 when healthy. Yeah. And tonight it proved that, one, even though Campaign wasn't effective offensively, Campaign was huge in switching he's really switched your entire play style. Kenny Smith was talking about this at halftime a little bit. Chris Paul is more of a game manager, and Campaign's more of I push the ball and I get the ball in players' hands in transition. Mm-hmm. So even though he's not, you know, getting numbers on the stat sheet, he's pushing the ball and setting up potential looks for players in transition. So I think I heard something about, like, y'all were like close to like last in transition, and now like all of a sudden so many of your points are in transition. And I think Campaign has really switched the way you guys play, and I think in a positive way. You guys have won 2 games without Chris Paul. Yeah. So even though Campaign's not what he used to be, like, he's still made a positive impact.
Yep. You said the key words are their positive impact. Because again, stat wise, even last game wasn't super great, but came up with some key moments and key plays, applied the pressure, pushed the offense. And that's one thing I noticed. Like I said this last time too, I was like, Chris Paul obviously controls the game. He plays at a slower pace, but Campaign, when he's speeding and passing that ball and everything, it really changes the Suns offense. And I got to pat myself on the back real quick. Shout out to J Matrix here. Like you said, when the Suns start making threes, we are a dangerous team. I have been a broken record reliable on this channel saying when the Suns start hitting their threes, they're going to be tough to beat. Do my eyes deceive me? 44% from 3 tonight. How many threes did we even make? Let's see.
And Landry Shamet carried the load on that.
13 for 29. You are right. We've gone too long without talking about Landry Shamet, man. 5 of those 3-pointers tonight belonged to Landry Shamet, and he hit them when it mattered. And again, like I was talking about, Kevin Durant just drawing so much attention, and then Devin Booker doing Devin Booker things left Shamet wide open. What was it? 5 threes in the 4th?
I think he hit one earlier in 4.
So it was 4 threes in the 4th.
Yeah. But it's funny, like 13 threes, if you look at it from a league wide, like,
yeah,
is not,
that's
not a
nothing.
lot.
And look at the attempts too, 29. That's like our average, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, you saw the Warriors shot 62 threes in game 2 or something crazy like
Your
that.
Lakers kicked their ass
But,
last night.
hey, oh, absolutely. Let's talk about that. No.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
But look, like, your 2 stars are 2 of the best mid-range players in the history of basketball.
Agreed.
I mean, I think that's fair to say. So it's not like you have a prime Joe Harris or Duncan Robinson on the perimeter. So obviously your threes are just not going to be there. But when you can space the floor, like, and score at 2 levels, because right now obviously most of your offense comes from 1 level, and that's the mid-range. You don't have a big paint presence, so you're not scoring from the paint that much. If you could extend that to 2-level scoring for Landry Shamet or Terrence Ross to just hit, then you guys are dangerous.
Yeah.
Because teams are collapsing on Booker and KD,
yeah.
because they know that you'd have no perimeter threat.
Yeah.
So if you do have a perimeter threat, that would open up things for Devin Booker and KD. And if teams still decide to collapse, now the defenses still have to respect a Shamet if he shows he could hit like this.
Yeah.
So it's all about it opening. If you're scoring multiple levels, it'll open it up for your team.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's just we needed it, man. I mean, like, you saw Twitter going viral. I assume you saw social media going crazy. We just needed it, man. We just needed scores off the bench, and this is where the Terrence Ross conversation comes into play. The TJ Warren, and now throw in Landry Shamet, and you know what? Even throw Campaign in there, because he only had 5 points tonight, and I thought some of his threes were a little wild, but at least he was taking them.
He's got an ugly ass shot.
He just throws it up there,
no,
man.
It's kind of like Lonzo in a weird way, except from up here, it's down here. So he starts.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a weird jump shot.
But again, Campaign's another player who, if he gets it going, even if he just provides you 12 or 15 points, if he gets it going, we're hard to beat.
I mean, absolutely. But that's the last couple games: 2 of 8, 3 of 9, 1 of 7. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, statistically, he's not going to blow you away, and he needs to get more consistent scoring the ball. He needs to get more consistent and being a better playmaker. But when he is pushing the pace, man, and he needs to stay out of foul trouble as well, I believe. But Campaign was excellent, man.
I really think that if you guys got one more season to get like a Tyler Hero type player, or just someone who you could trust, one more player who you could trust to put the ball in the basket, you guys would be unstoppable. Yeah. Really, what's holding you back right now is the unreliability of the rest of your depth, which obviously came to fruition tonight. But I said, like, give you guys one off season to make moves and put pieces around them, then you guys are set. And you're already competing with the best team in the West right now.
Yeah.
So, like, if you pull it off with the depth you have now, that's like impressive as hell. But you guys are going to be able to next season, no matter what, get better depth. And that's going to happen no matter what, whether it's trade or free agency. Like, you're not going to let, have no clear other options, but like, that's not going to happen. So it's like, I'm excited to see this team with like real threats besides your core 4. Like, I'm really excited to see that.
I want to see TJ blow up. I agree with that. Still waiting for a TJ Warren kind of scoring performance type night. Sorry, somebody's calling me right now. But anyways, I heard, how the Mac connects to, that's what happened just now. But anyways,
Clarkson would be tough.
The Suns should be 3-1 right now, but Monty made his adjustments sooner, or should have made his adjustments sooner. I agree with that. Campaign is better next to D-Book and Durant than he is CP3. His faster release on threes is big. All points. All 3 of these comments are points right here.
Well, the faster release, I don't know if it leads to the ball going inside of the basket. But
that's why I said I was like Shamet kind of, some of his shots are wild, man. Like, I just think he gets a little too confident and throws it up there.
But no, maybe it brings up the question: is Chris Paul holding you guys back a little bit?
No.
I mean, okay.
I've been a Chris Paul defender all year, and I'm going to stay on that hill.
Yeah, but if you look at
like
evidence,
earlier too.
His style of play, I mean, Campaign style of play is drastically different, and it's led to 2 W's. So you could make the argument.
That's fair. I don't agree with it, but that's fair.
I'm just stating it. Maybe
Real quick, I just want to read some numbers. This is from NBA.com. They beat us in the rebounding battle 46-39. Both teams had 28 assists tonight, by the way. Both teams had 6 steals. We had 13 turnovers tonight. Oh my God. Just had to get that out of the way. Both teams shot like crazy, both 56%. And again, we talked about the 3-point shooting, 44% for the Suns. Fast break points. This is the second game now. I don't remember what happened in games 1 and 2, but second game now where we've won the fast break points battle. I think that has to stand out. They crushed us in the paint, obviously, because Nikola Jokic was insane. But I just had to go over those numbers real quick. Yeah, man. Just again, this was huge. This was the biggest game of the season, and we got the W. And it's tied up. The Suns didn't get swept, and I know that Denver's going to make their adjustments. We haven't even talked about Nikola Jokic or Jamal Murray, which I'm going to pass that on to you here in a minute. But yeah, man, series is tied.
I think like we're talking a lot specifically about players. I think overall, like we should mention, this was one of the best games in the season.
Thank you for bringing that up.
In terms of just like a full 48-minute dogfight.
Yeah,
I think the biggest lead of the game was what, 8?
Yeah,
by any team or something. It's like this was
Thanks for bringing that up. I'll just real quick. This game was full of runs, by the way, because I kept writing down every time there was a run. Like 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Yeah, it was like a 9-2 run sometime within the third. The Suns went on a few runs of their own. Good example, 13-2 run by the Nuggets. We closed out the first quarter on a 10-4 run. Jokic sat, and the Suns went on a 19-11 run with him on the bench. And then there was like a late push later in the game. The Nuggets really pushed this until the final seconds of the game, you could argue. So yeah. I don't know.
I think getting 2 wins in a row is really going to bode well for the rest of the series. I think you guys are starting to get in a rhythm. And while it's going to be tough to win in Denver, like, yeah. I mean, but yeah, if we're going to talk about Denver a little bit, I mean, Booker said it after the game. He said Jokic could drop his 53 as long as we win the game.
Yep.
So you got us to come to the fact that Jokic is going to get, if he doesn't drop 40, he drops 20, 17, and 17. And if he drops 50, he'll drop 50 and 4, like he did tonight. So Jokic is going to get his no matter what. It's really about containing the guys like Aaron Gordon and KCP from not letting them burn you. Because those little plug and play guys, those little depth but really, really important pieces, that aren't Murray and Jokic, are going to be the X factors for you guys. And I thought you guys did a good job on Aaron Gordon. I don't think he made much of an impact tonight. You didn't let the depth make a huge impact. Bruce Brown didn't really do that good defensively, and in game 2, he kind of killed y'all.
Look at the points too off their bench. 11 points, and that was it. They went 3 off their bench. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Sounds like the Suns.
Yeah, sounds like the Suns during the first 2 games.
Yeah.
You know
and I mean? Said like they go 3 off their bench, but it's about the quality of the players off the bench. And I stated earlier, like the Nuggets may not have the best depth, but the quality of, was that like vodka or something?
No, I swear it was water.
You made like a face like you just took a shot or something.
Trust me, it was not vodka. It was not vodka.
Anyway,
too sick for that. Although after tonight, I really want one, to be honest.
Yeah. I said the Nuggets have better quality depth than the Suns, but they are really, really short. Like they run an 8-man rotation, and usually you see a 9-10. And
hey, maybe your Chris Paul thought is accurate.
Yeah. And they really ran almost a 7. I mean, their 8th man, Christian Brown, played 8 minutes. Like they are really, really. Mike Malone is really, really lacking.
By the way, speaking of Mike Malone, I have not seen him get that heated. Did you just see the sequence where his face was like solid red? And that was when that play happened when Campaign like drove in and dished it to Jock, and I think they called a foul or something like that. I haven't seen Mike Malone get that heated before. Just real quick, I just want to address something. Thank you for bringing it up. This really was one of the best playoff games thus far in the playoffs. Definitely one of the best playoff games I've ever seen. Both teams just trading baskets. Like I mentioned, the runs. At one point in the third quarter, it was definitely the Nikola Jokic and Booker show, just them going back and forth. But reliable. It's been 30 minutes, man. I know our conversation's jumping all over the place, and we can get back to talking whatever in a little bit. We have to address this, man. The Nikola Jokic and the Jokic-Ishbia stuff. I'm going to pull it up right now. We're going to react to it. Just
It was
give me
honestly, it was funny more than anything.
So as I'm pulling it up real quick, I'm just going to Twitter, obviously, and we can react to it in live time. But what are your thoughts on it? And feel free to disagree with me here, because I don't know if a suspension's incoming, if that even warrants a suspension. What do you think about it, man?
It doesn't warrant a suspension. I don't think he's not getting suspended for that. I mean, it was a Jokic, like, he may seem sometimes like he's like, laid back, like just puts his head down, but he's an emotional player. So like stuff like that happens, and I'm not defending him. I'm not saying I'm just not saying it's a suspension. Like, it was just funny to me how much. It was Matt Ishbia who got hit, right? He's like Dylan Brooks at Oregon, like he flopped like so far, and it was really funny. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, it was really nothing to me. Like, something with the ball, fan interaction. Like, I think it's more important because that's y'all's owner.
Yeah.
Right. If that was a random fan, would we really be talking this much about it?
Yeah, Jokic probably. I give him a 2% chance of knowing that's our owner.
Oh yeah, he definitely did not know that's your owner.
I think this is a great angle. By the way, this came from Clutch Points that uploaded this. I was just scrolling through Twitter trying to find a good angle. Now, real quick, I don't know if you can see my mouse. Let me just wait till he walks onto the screen. The dude in black right here, he got thrown out. I don't know if you can see my mouse right there. And I think that's the only thing I really agree with, in terms, because like you can't do that. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time,
you're not a security guard.
You're just a fan right there.
Bro. You can't be touching Jokic.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if you got the opportunity, like I'm not super mad at you. Like, bro, it's like you have you have Jokic standing right next to you. Like, I don't know, like, but no, I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, like, all right, I get it. Like, you wanted to touch Jokic, like, sure.
Sorry, I had to do it. Yeah, but and look, I was battling with people on Twitter. I channeled my inner Super Mario Hoops, and I was trolling a little bit. I don't know. I think it does come down to, again, if this is just a fan, it's probably just a fine. But this is an owner. I will say that. Maybe Adam Silver's texting him right now. I don't know. It's just crazy how fast that happened too. And like the thing that bugs me, and I get why Jokic did it, but Jokic was pretty far away when the ball was rolling out of bounds, and he just ran up. And I get it, like you're trying to grab the ball to inbound it. I get it, but
did the guy with the ball right here, the guy with the white shirt, did he really like hold on that long? Like,
right.
Like, because that's why Jokic was mad, right? Because the dude wasn't giving him the ball, right?
Yeah, because Matt Ishbia held the ball, then the dude in the white, but that was after.
Oh, yeah, it was Ishbia who held the ball.
Ishbia grabbed the ball.
So
he did kind of caress it. He was holding it pretty tight, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know what he was doing. Jokic looked Look at the way Jokic looked at him, though.
He's like, what the fuck? Wait, we're gonna pause it right when he does that. Wait for it. 1, 2, 3. Wait. Oh wait, that's not it. Wait, that's it. There's the pause.
He's like, who is this guy?
Bruh. Like, you know what though? I can't be biased here. I think I agree with Logan on this. I don't want Jokic to be suspended because the haters would put an asterisk on the series as well if it happens and we win and get.
And it'd be terrible for the NBA, honestly. Yeah. Like they have no reason to do that.
Do you think there'll be a fine though?
Yeah, I think there will. Like, I think there's like actually a rule when it comes to doing that to fans, and I think Ishbia counts as a fan, right? He's in the audience. You can't you can't push a fan. Like, you can't do that. Like, that's an offensive foul if he does that to a player, and he did it to a fan.
What's funny too is Matt Ishbia has gone on record multiple times saying like, I'm just the steward of the Suns organization and the community. I'm just a fan at the end of the day. He even said like, when I'm sitting in those seats, I am a fan. He's like, I don't look at things as an owner. So maybe the NBA will take that into consideration and just give Jokic a fine. But
look at Josh Okogie. He was just like,
he's like, bro, just give me the ball. Let's go. I don't think I would have been as heated about this if Jokic and Booker didn't get in that scuffle in 2021. You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but like you got to realize, like at this point in the game, like tensions are high. You're just trying to do everything you can to win the game. Like things get the best of you a lot of the time. Like,
And
emotionally.
it looks like some Suns fans are even saying don't suspend him. I've seen some Suns fans say it on
Bro,
Twitter.
who can make the case to suspend him?
Yeah.
No, you can't. Like, there's nothing that warrants a suspension there. It's not like he
maybe he punched him or anything.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't punch him. He didn't slap him. He didn't two-hand. It was a shove. It was a light shove. All right. It wasn't like he forcefully extended his arm. He literally just
he just kind of like this. It's like I'm doing on the screen.
Looking at him when he did it. There was no force or malicious.
Like I'm full screening myself. This is what it looked like. Just kind of like a light shove.
It wasn't. It does not warrant a suspension by any stretch of the imagination. I also feel you so much with the whole like, oh, if he doesn't win, if we win the series and he's out, it'll be an asterisk. Because I felt that so much as a Laker fan. Right. Like, just especially like when we played like you guys a couple years ago when AD was out, and I was part of that. I was like, hey, he doesn't count because we don't have AD. But yeah,
I'm trying to. Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties on my end when you were talking there. But yeah, we went 30 minutes without talking about it. I'm sure the whole NBA world is talking about it. I don't know. It is what it is. I just think, the comment. Who was it? I missed the comment, but it's just saying like there'd be an asterisk or whatever it's called on game 5 and 6 or whatever if he does get suspended. I think that's what it comes down to. And again, I even saw Suns fans saying like we want the best players playing in each game, and especially with how incredible this game was, you can't suspend Jokic. I hate to say it, you can't do it. A part of me wants him suspended, but
if he do it. Yeah, it's just he didn't do much.
Yeah.
If there's I feel like there's a clear line. Like you have to like forcefully touch someone like that. Pause. Like, you have to like that was just like a nonchalant shove. Oh Lord. How do you have these on standby?
Because that's what I do here, man.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I've said what I need to say about that, honestly.
Sawbuck says Ishbia tried to sell that flop.
That was hilarious. Yeah. He thought he was Dylan Brooks.
He channeled his inner Dylan Brooks right there. So good, man. Yeah, I don't know, man. Just we just had to go over it. I'm sorry.
Look at him. That's hilarious.
All right, we're gonna move on though. That's done. It's over with. Anything else from this game, man? I mean, we haven't really talked about Jokic. I mean, he was incredible. He had the 50. Let me just make sure I'm getting his numbers right. 50 points, 20 for 30 shooting, by the way, 2 for 4 from 3. One thing that stood out to me was the rebounding. 4 rebounds, dude. He put up an Ayton type rebounding night, but he did have 11 assists or whatever it was. Again, like I mentioned, throughout one point in the third quarter, it was the Ayton and Jokic show. Excuse me. 53 points is incredible.
There just weren't many rebounds overall tonight. There wasn't someone who got any a big rebound numbers. Like the most rebounds in this game was KD with 11. And it's not like anyone made up for Jokic's lack of rebounding.
And it was 46-39 on the rebounding battle too.
Yeah. So it was interesting. Sometimes you see games with, AD dropped 23 rebounds the other night. And sometimes
KD had the most. Oh, KD and KD and Porter Jr. had the most rebounds tonight.
Yeah, Porter had. I said AD. I didn't mean KD. Yeah. No, but yeah, Porter had 10. It says, yeah.
Porter Jr. has been a little inconsistent this series. Is that fair to say, by the way?
Yeah, I love the notion of Porter Jr. It's like every time he gets the ball, he just pulls that shit. So it's just hilarious.
He can hit those shots, but he's just he's chucking them out there.
He's a chucker. He is a chucker. And he really wasn't I remember him in high school and at Missouri, he was a bucket. He was gonna be the number 1 pick in the draft, and then he threw his back out and all that. But he's kind of just turned to a catch and shoot, I don't think I'm gonna pass because I never will type player. And maybe that's his role on the team. But yeah, he's been inconsistent and he hasn't been hitting. And every player who's just a catch and shoot guy is going to be inconsistent. You're never Kyle Korver is rare, stuff like that. So yeah, it's interesting. He doesn't shoot great shots at all.
You referenced the Aaron Gordon. He wasn't as impactful despite putting up 11, 6, and 3. Especially, I think, on the defensive end as well, because I felt like he was guarding KD pretty well throughout the first 2 games, if not the first 3 games.
They need him to do more than 11.
Exactly.
You need, besides Jokic and Murray, Gordon is that guy. Yep. So they need at least, 18, 16 out of him a night.
Jamal Murray, even just putting up 28 and 7, hit some tough shots here and there, but he didn't do those game one Jamal Murray type performance. You know what I mean? Just 28 is huge, obviously, but like it didn't really seem super impactful. And then again, I go back to the bench, just 11 points off their bench. And again, Denver's going to make their adjustments. I'm sure it's game 5 is probably going to be just as tough, and it's going to be a hard fought battle, but I don't know, man. If the Phoenix Suns can get a repeat performance tonight out of their bench, and if KD and Booker can score another 80 points, I think the Suns got game 5. That's just my biased take, to be honest.
KD and Booker, I would bet so much money that there's not a game where one of them drops under 25 points. Like it's a confirmed at least 28 and 28 from each. Yeah. And that's even a low bar. Like they're so dominant together, it's actually ridiculous.
What's crazy too is like, especially in the Clippers series, we saw KD put up about 29 points or whatever, but it didn't seem as impactful, and that just proves, because they were locking him up, obviously, because that just proves how great of a scorer he is and why he is one of the greatest, of all time. So I don't know, man. I think that's it in terms of my thoughts on this game. Just any final thoughts, any takeaways? I don't think we're going to end the show, you guys. We're going to talk about some other stuff. So feel free to keep watching, everybody.
What if we get Lakers Suns Western Conference Final?
Oh, we're going live every game unless you go to the game.
No, I'd honestly be making videos after every game instead of live streams. But no, that would be crazy. I mean, that would be just full circle, I guess.
Well, after last night's game, again, I didn't really watch too much of it, but I did see that the Lakers went on in the second quarter, 30 to something. They had like 30 points in the second quarter.
I said this in like a video I made, like it's crazy nowadays that you can see a team blow someone out by 30, and the next game, the team who got blown out by 30 can blow the other team out by 30. It's just like, I don't think we've ever seen the NBA this competitive and skilled before. So it's like, I'm confident in our guys, and Darvin Ham has made like every single change that I've like said to make. Yeah. So I've gotten really happy with that.
So Darvin Ham watches Reliable Rams.
I see videos. Everybody in my comments have been saying, it's like, hey, like, I feel like he watches your videos. And I'm like, I think he does too.
You know what? Speaking of that, and we kind of talked about it, we got to kind of give it up to Monty Williams for listening and making those adjustments, like playing a Terrence Ross, playing a TJ Warren, even though he does it to a fault, trusting Landry Shamet, which obviously finally paid off tonight. But it didn't seem like that for a long time. I mean, Shamet got benched in game 2, I believe, or 3. And then, stuck to his gut. But Monty Williams made the adjustments, man.
I've been saying it. Monty's been searching, like finding Nemo for like these people, like just someone that he can trust. And maybe
you can't do that in the playoffs.
Shamet played 30 tonight, right? 30 minutes. Like, yeah. And like, yeah, you see guys like, Busy was, correct me if I'm wrong, he was in the rotation in round 1. Yep. He was in the rotation.
Hasn't played much in the Nuggets.
Torrey Craig was in the rotation. You pull those guys out. You insert TJ Warren, you insert Terrence Ross, you pull them out, you put back. He's just searching for someone. He's searching for the right rotation. It's not ideal, but maybe Landry Shamet can be that guy that you guys need to rely on outside of Paul, Ayton, and Booker. Sorry, Paul Durant and Booker, not Ayton. Jesus.
Hey, you never know. Maybe Chris Paul wakes up feeling good and comes back. I don't know. Monty stayed up late on Reddit after game 2 for sure. Real quick, too, someone made the comment, high altitude on the way. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm a little nervous with about Ayton. I hope that he can. I mean, again, it's been a couple of games now.
I thought he runs on Tesla battery.
Yeah, don't get me started on that. Jesus Christ.
That was hilarious.
So bad. Social media will be a toxic wasteland if we get Suns versus Lakers. Amen.
I'd rather, honestly, I don't know who I'd rather play. It's really tough for me. Like, I think I'd rather just play the Nuggets because it's just better matchups. Like, as a Lakers fan, like we're better guarding Jokic than we are guarding Durant and Booker. Like we have Vanderbilt and Schroeder would just do really good on Book, but like we don't have anyone to guard KD. And at least Jokic can be contained by AD. Like, it's tough. I'd have to think about who I'd rather play, but
right.
I can't get ahead of myself. We got to get out of the Warriors series first.
Chance Berg says Ayton needs to show up this next game. Exactly, man. Again, it's come to that point with DeAndre Ayton. In fact, you know what though? I'll be fair to Ayton. Everybody needs to show up. We need KD and Booker to keep doing what they're doing. We need our bench to show up. Heck, if Landry Shamet can give us half of those threes that he did tonight, that would be huge.
Here, can I ask you a question about Ayton?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Statistically, what would you consider showing up as for Ayton? I'm just curious.
Not 8 and 8 like he did tonight. I think that was his numbers, right? 8 and 8.
Because I don't know.
Because I've said Ayton can put 18 and 10 in his sleep.
He averaged that for a couple years.
Exactly. We haven't really seen that to an extent. So I would say 18 and 10, man.
It's
and
interesting.
maybe a couple
you
blocks.
seemed really, really satisfied with him tonight on an 8 and 8 night.
But that's coming off of a terrible, as I put it in my video, disastrous game 3.
I agree.
That's why I pointed out those little like moments, you know.
Yeah.
Real quick though, I really feel like the defense on Jamal Murray got overlooked tonight. Just saying, had to throw that out there. He did well with sticking with them, contesting him. But yeah, man, it's just sad that it's come to that point with Ayton to where like you asked me that great question. You know what I mean? And we all know Ayton can be bigger and better than what he's doing. That's kind of why I was a little defensive when Jock Landale backed him up. This might sound like a hot take here. I get why Jock Landale did it, but I'm like, after game 3, bro, I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you saw those comments.
I don't really know what the whole situation.
Pretty much he was interviewed by the media and was like, DeAndre Ayton's been fucking great for us. And I'm tired of all the DA slander and da-da-da. I'm like, damn, dude, like you must either see a lot of social media or you aren't watching what Ayton's doing out there.
I mean, like, he's not going to be like, yeah, Ayton's been shit. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like I get it. He's going to defend his teammate. And I tweeted out, I was like, I get what Jock Landale's doing here, but this ain't
he could have said something like what Book and Ayton said post-game the other day. Like, kind of like, you know, we're always going to have his back. We need him to step up, but we know what he can do or something like that. But, like, Landale's going to, I mean, I don't know.
He's being a great teammate. Everyone praised him for it.
Like, he was great tonight, honestly. Like, even there was this one play where, like, I think, like, KD kicked it to him on the block. And it's like, usually that's like a kick back out to someone, but he just put it up and made a little layup.
Yep.
And I don't think Ayton would have shot that. I really don't.
I forgot about that play. Thank you for bringing that up. KD and Jock have had just some weird but good chemistry things going on in the court because KD will find him. Why? Because Jock Landale sets hard screens and rim rolls and, you know, has moments like that.
And also the doubling of KD in the mid-range area leaves Landale wide open. Just like you always see Josh Okogie in the high post get the ball from like KD and Book. It's because they don't give a fuck about Josh Okogie. They're going to put all of their marbles on KD and Book. And if you can get the ball to the guy in the high post that can make a play, like maybe a Jock Landale, then that's great.
All I'm asking for is energy and focus from Ayton. Again, it's sad that it's come down to that, but it's true. Just energy and focus. And that's what we saw throughout most of this game. There were some bad moments in terms of Ayton where, I don't know if he just gave up on the player, was getting cooked by Jokic. Like, you remember that play when, I'm not fully blaming this on Ayton, but the ball was like flying out of bounds. And I think Murray saved it and then just drove in and had that like reverse dunk. Ayton kind of just stood there and kind of just, you know.
That one play, I know you're going to get mad if I bring it up, but I watched that video the other day where he's just standing behind the basket.
That was bad, dude. That's when it all started.
It's like he glitches sometimes, you know? He glitches.
And then, dude, as you mentioned, there was that Porter Jr. thing where he stopped on a dime, went up, and Porter contested it. And
he does that every game, it seems.
And like, he had another bad play that game too, but I just, I don't know, man.
Yeah. And he tried to pump fake, and then after he pump fake, he still like faded away from the basket. Like, he needs to go up strong.
Coda Kid, I love you, man. I know you're a DA stan, but it wasn't just one bad play. It was one really bad game. And yeah. Anyways, Shamet just revived his career, says Doug Potato memes. I'm sorry. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, Brandon, like I unhighlighted the comment, but someone in the comments tonight was like, Suns Geek, you were right. When this team starts hitting threes, they're hard to beat. I want to see another performance like that from 3. Again, even though it was 13 for 29, you obviously want the attempts to be higher. I will take those 13 threes, damn it. We needed a night like this from 3.
My jaw honestly dropped when I saw like D-Book hit that 3. Like, remember, you know what I'm talking about, like the double team.
Yeah.
I think it's towards the end of the third
Yep.
quarter. I'm just
Crowd
like,
went nuts.
it's just like it was. I just didn't know what to say at that point. Like,
it's literally just you shake your head at it, you put your phone down, and you're as KD said, you're at a loss for words.
Like, okay, but like KD says that in your like what 8 years of watching Booker, have you seen him at this level? Like, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, D-Book has hit another level, in my opinion, at least. Like, he's done this before, but like this is different. Like, I don't know where he got this from. Maybe it was the breakup. But yeah, I don't know.
The Bad Bunny disc. No, just kidding. But I don't want to sound too biased here. I don't know how this is going to come off. I've said this in live shows before, and I mean it with all due respect. I mean it the best way possible. It doesn't surprise me that Booker's playing at this level. But again, I've never seen this. You've never seen this. Most of the NBA world has never seen this. He's literally playing at a different level. You can't put it into words. Like, I might, after we're done with the show, I might just go watch those Booker highlights because he's just been incredible. All playoffs long, even with a couple of games here and there, he still has been incredible. So,
but it's just like it's the efficiency is just what's even crazier.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Doing what Booker is doing on a point stand. Like, you have players around the league dropping 40, 39, 40, 40. But doing it on 20 of 25, 18 of 22, 17 of 19 is ridiculous. Like, unseen.
I'm pulling up his numbers right now.
Unseen in general, but especially for a guard.
Yep.
Like, those are numbers you'd see from like Ivica Zubac or something. Someone who's literally placing the ball inside of the basket for a living. But Book is literally facing double teams, triple teams, off balance shots, and literally not missing like at all. Like 78% from the field is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like,
it's like I said, like at the start of the show too, like he was where did it go? I just lost it. But it was 80% in game 3. And he was 20 for 25. And then tonight, 14 for 18, which is 77.8%. And again, 36 points, dude. 47 in game 3. 12 assists, yeah. 5 turnovers, 5 fouls. And you know what? Another thing that's getting overlooked, this is just my opinion, defensively, especially in that Clippers series. Holy cow, defense. I'm not saying he's playing at like a Kawhi Leonard defensive level, but just staying in front of his guy, contesting shots, making life hard on players, and just the little things sometimes, especially in that Clippers series. He defensively was incredible in the Clippers series.
He really wants to win, you know, like, and that's just it. Like, he's tired. He's been there 10 years or something like that. Like, he wants to win. And, you know, like I feel like as a player, like once you get as close as y'all did against the Bucks, like you made it there, that it's like a cliffhanger almost. It's like, especially for someone like D-Book, it's like you want to get back there more than anything in the world. And now, you know, like you see your front office making moves, like getting KD, putting you in the position, like you kind of just feel like you got one job and you need to get there, you know? So like, I feel like he's really feeling that right now. Like, he's like, I need to get to the finals right now.
Another compliment to Monty Williams here. I love the rotation tonight, resting everyone at the right times. I agree. I mean, that was a big criticism of Monty, is his rotations, and he's playing like an Ish Wainwright 2 minutes here and there, and then this guy and that guy, but resting the players at the right time. It was great, man. It worked. And
I think Booker and Jokic both rested like 3 minutes at the start of the fourth or something like that. Yeah. And it's like that's all you could afford. I mean, like, yeah, you need Book and KD playing 44, 43 a night.
I've noticed something with Ayton too. He'll usually take Ayton out like sometimes at the start of the fourth and bring him back like the 6-7 minute mark. I think that's a good strategy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's changed a little bit based off of, you know, situationally how Ayton's played. But
exactly. All right, Reliable. You want to talk about the Lakers for a minute? Any final thoughts? You want to talk about Jimmy Butler or whoever, your boy Austin Reeves? Like, what do you want to talk about, man? Because I think we've pretty much put a bow on this game.
Yeah. I mean, hey, playoffs.
I'll give you the floor right here.
Playoffs are the playoffs. We don't need to go into anything like specifically, but like, I'm excited. I think I think it's whoever wins the Celtics series is going to win the East. Like I personally think the Heat are going to win the Knicks series. I think the Heat are going to beat the Knicks. The Knicks look awful.
That would be
right now.
amazing. If
This
they did
matchup is terrible for the Knicks. Like they honestly look awful right now. Like Julius Randle's playing at an all-time low. Brunson hasn't gotten it going. Hart was like, I think the Heat are going to win that series.
Brunson's been injured too, right?
Yeah, and I really don't see the Celtics losing. I honestly think Celtics make the finals, and unbiasedly, I don't know who is going to make the finals in the West.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
It's honestly like really difficult. Like it's impossible to say to me. Like there's almost an equal chance, in my opinion, at each of the 4 teams making the finals. And
any faith in the Sixers?
No, the Sixers aren't winning the series.
Even after today?
Tatum
saw that ending, right?
Tatum shot like 0 of 8 to start the game, and they still barely won. Going back to Boston, Tatum's not doing that. The Sixers are going to lose in 6. Trust me on that. I don't care if Rom's here. I'll say it to his face. Celtics in 6.
We have a special guest. No, I'm just kidding. It's Rom.
Celtics in 6. Yeah, I guess to briefly touch on the playoffs.
First off, from a selfish standpoint, I would like to see the Heat go to the Eastern Conference Finals just because it's selfish because I'm an NBA history fan, and that rarely happens because they were the 8th seed. That'd be amazing.
I thought you were going to say because Udonis Haslem.
And that too, yeah. Because
I'm an NBA history fan, and Udonis Haslem's like history.
He's the all-time Miami Heat leader in X, Y, and Z. But no, for real, I think that'd be crazy. And someone made a good point too. They said something along the lines like the Heat just had like a lot of problems throughout the season, and they're playing great at the right times.
Absolutely.
And that's why they're kind of they obviously beat the Bucks, and they're a matchup nightmare for the Knicks.
And in the Heat are just speak to what you need from players in the playoffs. Without Tyler Hero and Victor Oladipo, you need people to step up. And what'd you get? Max Strus, Gabe Vincent, literally rising right to the occasion. And that's been rare in this playoffs. Like those two have literally been the X factors. Like you lose 2 of your best players, and then you just have 2 people completely step up and take over. It's like that's why they're succeeding right now.
If I remember correctly, what was crazy about that Game 5 win when they beat the Bucks was didn't like Love foul out and like 2 other players fouled out and they still beat the Bucks. That was insane, man. And they're loaded, man. I always go back to this cliche reference, the Pat Riley effect. He doesn't like to lose, man. And Eric Spoelstra's been there and done that. They know how to win. So.
I was talking to Super Mario about Jimmy the other day because you know what he thinks about Jimmy, and he didn't have much to say.
I'm glad you guys collaborated, by the way. I still got to go check out that episode, but yeah, I'm glad you guys. Yeah, and you're right. He went on that huge rant, and Jimmy Butler's been the 2nd best player next to Booker. Would you maybe throw a Curry in there? Maybe.
Honestly, I'm going to post that on my community tab. Who's been better in the playoffs, Butler or Booker? And I think it's going to be really mixed. I think that's a great question, honestly. That's tough. I don't know who I would say. Honestly.
Shout out to Roy with the generous $1.99 super chat. This is a series. Let's win the next one, or let's win the next game. I agree. It's a series, everybody. The Suns are it. We didn't get swept. Going back to Denver, it's going to be tough, Suns fans. Don't be upset if they struggle in Game 5. It's going to happen. They're going to make their adjustments. The high altitude always has to be into consideration. Mike Malone was pissed during this game, so he's going to make his adjustments. But again, if the Suns can just replicate half of this, I give them a good chance in Game 5. So
I don't know about that.
I do, man.
Half of a squeezed out win on your opponent's floor will not get you a win.
We need Booker and Katie to do what they did. We need our bench to do what they did, and we need DeAndre Ayton to be better than 8-8.
I think this series will go 7.
Yeah,
I think it'll go 7. I see you guys like stealing one that you're not supposed to steal. Honestly,
I've been saying this when D-Book pick up his defense. Y'all are going to see how versatile he's going to be. He'll get better each year and has. He's point blank in the midi now, and he shoots more. Exactly. I teared up in joy seeing the Bucks exit. Can't handle 100 fouls and enjoy the game. All right, y'all. I think that's it. I think we've done enough. Putting a bow on this game. Crazy game, man.
Can you scan these QR codes?
Yeah, you actually can. It's kind of small, but you actually can. Yeah.
How did you even do that?
So if you go to your TikTok or Instagram, by the way, follow me on TikTok for all you
Bro
TikTok
said
users.
TikTok.
So I'm pulling up my profile.
Oh, I
Go
found
follow
it.
me on, yeah, you just go, there's like a little QR thing,
That's crazy.
my QR code, and you can scan it. See?
I'm like an old man. Never even knew that.
Just real quick before we get out of here, Reliable, you said it so perfectly when we were kind of recapping and getting your thoughts. Just this was one of the best playoff games like ever, especially this year. I think that's how we got to end the show right there. One of the best games ever. Shout out to Gertz Burner, Suns Geek. Thanks for this, man. Well, thank you guys. Chris Kaufman, thank you. Suns Geek, you're the man. Thank you guys. I appreciate y'all. You guys are amazing. Reliable, tell the people where to find you, man. You're making your YouTube comeback. I know you're not really on Twitter, but you are on Instagram. Tell the people where to find you, man.
Reliable Rants on YouTube, posting like at least 4 times a week right now, grinding. Sub for, worse content than you get on this channel.
Nah, man, because you actually put time and effort and better analysis on your channel than I do. I just clip stuff.
Me and Romp are like similar styles. We like break down and stuff. But
shout out to Romp too. He's been killing it, man. Both channels. But yeah. Well, I appreciate you guys. Logan says Suns Geek brought to you by TikTok.
That's hilarious.
Follow me on TikTok, guys. I've been uploading. I hate to admit it. I thought
I'd be seeing them. Like you'd be reading the tweets and stuff.
That's my favorite series.
That's hilarious.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's gonna be like 3 episodes alone off the Jokic-Ishbia Nikola Jokic thing. There were so many fucking hilarious tweets. I was dying, man.
Maybe I'll make another Karen impression video. Have you seen those?
Yes, you should do it, dude, for the Nikola Jokic thing. You should do it. Can you give us a Karen impression on the spot before we go?
Sometimes I gotta load it up, but I can. I mean, we need like a plot, that microphone. Yeah, not past 4 p.m.
So good.
I don't know.
Oh god. All right, you guys, I'm out of here. This has been a great show. Reliable, seriously, thank you for helping me out, man, especially since I was a little sick today. Appreciate you. Guys, go subscribe to Reliable. Subscribe to me. Again, the best way to keep supporting this channel is just to keep watching. I love you guys. We will see you in Game 5. The Phoenix Suns tie the series. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Peace out. And as always, go Suns.